Good morning, students. Today we'll start with the new chapter, that is light, shadows and reflections. We all can see so many objects around us. They are so colorful and they are so different from each other. When you go to school or when you go to market, you can see so many things around you, that is like buses, cars, cycles, trees, animals, flowers, and all these objects are so beautiful, isn't it? But what about the places which you visit during the night time? Even at the night time, you can see that there are lights everywhere around. You are able to see everything. But can you think of any place at night if it was completely dark? What will happen? If you enter into a completely dark room, will you be able to see any object in the room? No, you cannot see any object in the room when the room is totally dark. But in that dark room, when you light a candle or a torch, you are able to see the objects which are present in the room, isn't it? So what does it mean? It means that without light, things cannot be seen. Light helps us to see objects around us. So basically, children, what happens is that it is only because of the light that we are able to see the things around us. So what happens is that whenever the light goes and hits any object, for example, you can see this book. Why are you able to see this book? Because the light comes and hits this book, and from the book it gets reflected back to our eyes. Okay, and that is why you can see this book. So whatever things are present around you, you all are able to see those things because light goes and hits that particular thing and then it reflects back. Reflects back मतलब वापस टकराने के बाद वापस हमारे आंखों में आना या तो कहीं और चले जाना. Okay, so that is reflection. So it is because that the light goes and hits an object and reflects back to our eyes, we are able to see the objects around us. Okay, children? Now, there are different things which emits their own light. For example, the torch bulb. The torch bulb is an object that gives out light of its own. The sun is another familiar object that gives its own light. Then you have got the tube lights, the bulbs. There are many things, okay, which have got their own light. So the objects like the sun that give out or emit light of their own are called as luminous objects. Okay, what are luminous objects? Luminous objects are the objects which give out or emit their own light. For example, you have the sun, you have the tube lights, you have the bulbs, you have the candle. All these are example of luminous objects because they give out their own light. But what about objects like a chair or a shoe or any other object? What happens? We see these when light from luminous objects like the sun, the torch or an electric light falls on this and then travels to our eye. Okay, there are some non-luminous objects like the chair, the shoes. Okay, just now I told you this book. This is a non-luminous object because it does not have its own light. So, but how can we see this? Just now, as I told you, that whenever the light falls on this, okay, it can be light from sun, light from torch or tube light or bulb. When it falls on it, it falls on this object and it travels towards the eyes. So this is how we can see the objects. Clear, children? Then we come to transparent, opaque and translucent objects. Okay, transparent objects, you have already studied about transparent, opaque and translucent objects. What are opaque objects? Opaque objects are the objects through which, if we cannot see through an object at all, okay, that is called as an opaque object. Then if you are able to see clearly through an object, that means it is allowing light to pass through it. That object is called as transparent object. Okay, now what are the examples of transparent object? You have already studied transparent objects. Examples are clear water, okay, then cellophane paper, polythenes, transparent polythenes. Then what are the examples of opaque objects? You like table, chair, stone. You cannot see through them at all. Okay, then there are some other objects through which we can see but we cannot see through them clearly. These objects are called as translucent objects. And what are the examples? This also you have already studied, like you have got the butter paper, okay, frosted glass. All these are example of translucent objects. Clear, children? So I hope this much is clear to all of you. The rest we will continue in the next video. Thank you.